We are, of course, going to review, as you said, speaking of Raid, the new Netflix movie called The Apostle.
Yes.
Or is it just, Apostle.
Yes.
No, The Apostle.
Apostle.
Which is directed by Gareth Evans.
Yes.
Yes, I finally got it. Okay. Always get confused with the Godzilla director, who's Gareth Edwards.
Yes.
So Gareth Evans directed Apostle.
He did, and we were looking forward to this. We kind of gushed about how creepy and weird and bloody and fucked up the trailer looked, and the pugilism and thrillery elements and horror shit and whatever.
And 5 seconds of stick fighting.
Yes.
That seemed reminiscent of Raid.
Right. But
it was a Netflix movie, and, I think I'm just done with Netflix movies after this one.
yeah,
I'm just done. Unless it's like a night comes for us kind of thing, and I can at least watch it for the fight scenes. But honestly, I've tried their regular movies. They've all sucked.
yeah, this wasn't very good.
You know what? This was no exception. This had lots of glaring problems.
Yeah.
So I guess, where do you want to start with this? So, quick overview again. It's about in 1905. This guy has to go rescue his kidnapped sister from this cult that lives on this island.
Yes.
And really, that's all you need to know.
Pretty much. Stuff
Then
happens.
Dumb plot twists ensue that weren't necessary and kind of ruined the overall idea of the movie, etc. So, do you like to start us off with some of your general thoughts?
You know what's weird is this movie started out really high. So we start off, we meet our main character, whose name is Thomas Richardson, played by Dan Stevens. He's kind of a damaged guy. We see him, he's like all scruffy and shit, and he's like eating, ether or
whatever.
He's like an addict
Oh,
of
opioids.
Yeah.
It looks like he's eating eye drops.
Yeah. So he's got problems, but he's got to save his sister because his dad's Alzheimer's or something. He's losing his mind. So he's got to go into this weird colony and save his sister. And I'm liking this because it's getting to the colony. It's it's really secretive and first of all, the scenery. This looks really fucking good.
If there's one thing I can give it credit for, the long shots.
Yeah.
What a location they chose, number one.
Yeah.
And way to photograph it perfectly.
It looks, and they didn't even do it on any good days. Every day it's just gray out. And
overcast.
This still looks really good.
I think that helped set the tone.
For sure. But
I'm gonna,
once we get there.
Yeah, that's the thing is.
Happen.
That's the thing. The very, very start is fine. You see some cool long shots, some really good cinematography. However, the beginning in general, the whole beginning act, is so goddamn slow. I had a real hard time wanting to watch the rest about, the 20-minute mark. First of all, this movie is 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
This is chief example of a movie that does not need to be that long. And it's another great example of, if you have a 3-hour movie, you can make it work. But if you have a 2-hour 10 movie that doesn't need to be 2 hours and 10 minutes, you need to cut it down. This needed really significant cut downs in my estimation. Also, what the fuck was I going to say? Just Netflix. What is with them? Do they fucking just film everything on a first draft?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this where I'm this doesn't need to be here.
Their shows, too. That Disenchantment show. The pilot episode is 36 minutes. Why do you need those extra 6 minutes? To bore us to death and make us laugh less?
Right. 7 minutes, really. Shit. What is a regular animated 27 minutes or 29 at most?
Well, if you're talking regular TV, it's 22 minutes.
Oh shit, so it's fucking 10 minutes you can lap off.
Right. And I get that. It's without commercials. Fine. I can work with 27, 28 minutes. And I understand it's the pilot, but it just didn't need to be that long.
Right. Neither did this.
No, this really needed probably a good 10, 20 minutes cut.
What bugged me is...
the pacing was the worst part to me.
Right. And what bugged me there was because the reason I think the pacing suffers is because you get to the island and you're like, okay, cool, weird. Michael Sheen's giving weird speeches. You're like, all right, that's weird. There's some stuff going on with, you find out what the cult is about, which I guess we won't spoil yet.
Well, how much longer do we want to talk non-spoilers?
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right,
longer,
go
I
on,
guess.
yeah.
But like, you find out what's going on, you're like, okay, weird, and then you just start getting these subplots. Like,
oh my God, I know, right?
Like the right-hand men of Michael Sheen, their kids. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just fucking don't care. Where's the sister at? Are we abandoning this? This is what the fucking movie's about.
That's what's crazy is about, I would say, maybe a little less than halfway there through the movie. I forgot what the hell I was watching. I thought it felt like a really bad pilot almost.
Yeah. And
like
then
it felt like either centralize this more or expand on it, make it a series, but whatever the fuck you're trying to do right now in this movie, it's not working. That happened to me. I completely forgot about the sister. I'm like, can we, like, what the fuck is going on? And then the sister shows up and I literally said, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
Because I forgot who it was. I'm like, oh, that's the sister.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, there's some twists, which I was like, huh? Like,
yeah,
what? They're doing this in this movie? I was like, okay, weird.
I thought
don't like it.
You know what? Well, you want to get into spoilers?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so I'll start off by making this comparison, and it'll segue right into spoilers. You remember that 47 Ronin movie?
Yes.
Right? It's like we've got this cool setting, awesome, text of the folktales 47 Ronin. We got, feudal Japan, all that cool shit. Let's add monsters.
Yeah.
That suffered from this. You had a cool idea, and it, certain things work when they're grounded, certain things don't. Prime example, like our problem with the Marvel Netflix shows. Superheroes don't need to generally work a little bit better when they're a little more outlandish, not so grounded.
Right.
A movie about a crazy cult in 1905, you have enough interesting things going on. You don't need to add a fucking Mother Earth, Mother Earth, witch lady.
Yeah, that was weird.
Also, that didn't really make sense. It's like she needs the blood of the animals. Like, if she's so fucking powerful or whatever, why can't she just vine them or some shit? Like catch them.
Right, and that was odd because they revealed that like halfway through, and I'm like, speaking of the witch, I'm like, you don't know that like anything is going on that's actually happening until the very, very end, like the climax. You're like, oh shit, so this isn't a psychological thriller. This is a fucking horror movie.
Yeah,
like
a shitty one that like randomly has. I'll give it credit here. Some of the action scenes were cool. They're short, but like they're well shot because Gareth Evans knows what he's doing in terms of action. Always has.
Is it too little, too late?
Oh, definitely. Like, what fight I thought, like, fuck you. I don't care.
The fight with the
head guy.
Yeah.
The head guy and the one kind of young, fresh-faced kid who knocked up his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Also, I'm like, this kid is like such a dork, and now they're making him like a super violent, super capable guy.
That whole fucking, like, it just felt so weird. It felt like a bad twist. He's like, I'm the bad guy now. I'm like, what? Like, okay. Like, he's like, I was really the one enslaving the whatever fucking grass lady, and I was like slitting baby rabbits' throats and shit. And I'm like, what is this? Like, I thought
that was also dumb. It's like
very misleading trailer.
Yeah, extremely misleading because I thought it would have been much cooler if it was just about the cult.
Yeah, and like him trying to like, it reminded me of Resident Evil. You know, like Resident Evil 4, like going through the town and like finding the dark secrets and like, but still not forgetting like, okay, what am I here to do? I'm here to find the president's daughter in Resident Evil 4 in that case. Yeah. This is like, all right, I have to find my sister. But this is like, what's the leader of the town's daughter up to? Uh-oh, she's not okay with her dad's teachings. Yeah. What's the two right-hand man's kids about? They're having a tryst.
The redhead lady was just like, I'm that dreamy girl you like on the cult island. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is this an episode of Freaks and Geeks, or is this, a horror movie in 1905?
It strayed too far away from the promise of the premise.
Completely. Let's see what else I got here. Yeah, I said that mention the fight scenes. The weird witch creature was just dumb.
The lore just didn't make sense.
It's
so many questions.
Yeah,
it's like the blood does what?
Yeah. It's like
I felt like a 55-year-old dad in this.
Yeah, I was just like, why the hell doesn't she just get the food herself?
Yeah, she can't go kill those animals herself. You know, when I was a kid, we had to kill the animals ourselves.
Also, it was kind of unclear what was the deal with why they got there. Were they criminals that were banished?
They were like convicts, and like I thought they're shipwrecked, or they were like stowaways or something.
Here's one thing I also thought. Do you think the island was archaic on purpose, or do you as part of the story, or do you think that was just because like they just didn't give a shit? They're just like, make it old timey.
I don't know.
I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because if I say that, I mean, because that would make sense because cults generally are pretty archaic, even if they're modern or whatever.
Yeah, I just figured it was like we have limited resources out here, so we don't have like the luxury of like having like electricity and shit.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's there's still a lot just up in the air of like, what is that? Like, what does this do? Who is this? Like, there's just so much from like, what's this guy's deal? Like the one dude with the bandages on his face. I'm like, what's that about?
Also,
why?
I thought their weird pirate music dance scene was dumb. Like,
yeah.
Like if they're so evil and ominous, just doesn't seem like they'd be having fun or whatever.
Yeah. And I also couldn't like necessarily grasp like what exactly the religion was. Like, is this Christianity? Or is it not? Because like they reference like passages from the Bible,
but then didn't they explicitly say it's not at one point?
Yeah, I'm like,
he's like, we don't believe in like Jesus or like so he says something where it's like you just contradicted like half of this movie, and then I can't remember what it was. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. There's a lot of shit where I'm like, where did that come from? Like, you can't have a kid; it's forbidden here. I'm like, what? Like, what? Like, did I miss something?
Also, I thought I kind of hated the main character after a while.
Mm-hmm.
He has no personality.
Because he doesn't do anything.
He's just very like, he's just very frumpy and boring.
He just didn't do anything. They didn't give him anything to do until the very end.
He's just an asshole like the entire movie. Also, he puts his trust in that kid way too quickly.
Yeah. That was when I started to notice. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to like this.
This is dumb because that was the thing. I'm like, hey, kid on the cult island, I'm here to like infiltrate you assholes. Oh, that's good to know because I've been waiting for someone to infiltrate us. Like, how the fuck do you know he's not going along with the program or not?
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry. I'd forgive that if they set it up better, or it's like there was something where it was very obvious.
Well, I sort of interpret it as like because he knows about them, the two daughters.
He catches him.
Yeah, but like
catches him banging in the boat or whatever.
Even then, it like isn't necessarily established that like they can't. You know, it's like why can't
like have sex or whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, well, why can't they? Why can't they be in a relationship?
Well, you just figure, culty. That's what I felt like. It was like the excuse was because culty stuff. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. It really felt like a first draft, and so did just about everything that I've watched on Netflix. Mm-hmm. That's Netflix original. Disenchantment, the Paradise PD, Message from the King. Mm-hmm. They all felt like first drafts. I don't know if a second draft would have helped the story on The Night Comes for Us, but at least that had... I'm not even joking when I said compilation of fight scenes, just to bring that up real quickly. Mm-hmm. I feel like almost a half to 2/3 of the movie were fight scenes.
Of Night Comes for Us?
Yeah, because the last fight, I looked at it because I watched part of it again. Mm-hmm. Because I fell asleep periodically during the talking scenes. So I had to rewind. Mm-hmm. And then what ended up happening is I watched a lot of the fight scenes twice. Mm. The last fight scene is legitimately, I think, 10 minutes long.
It's like the end of Face Off?
Basically. Well, it's because okay, here's my favorite part. So Joe Taslim, he clears the room, fights all these guys, and he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to shotgun the last 3. Iko Uwais' character, he's got him dead to rights, has the gun, and he does the classic, my favorite.
Throws the gun away.
Nah, fuck it. So they fight for like 10 minutes, and they literally, It was one of those fights where they literally break down every single thing you can do. It's like, how many punches can we throw? How many kicks? How many knees? What about grappling? What about punching and kicking while we're on the ground?
Damn.
Standing grappling? What about throwing people into things?
Damn, they cover all the avenues.
Oh, and then they got knives.
And then stabby. They get all stabby with the knives.
Yeah, it's like, well, what if you get stabbed like 6 times here? Oh, well, speaking of that, sorry to interrupt myself. But yes, the fight scene covers all bases. Mm-hmm. Back to the less entertaining Netflix movie. Mm-hmm. So there's that part, right, where, what is it? The bat at the very end, when the dweeby kid is fighting the cult master.
Yeah.
So he stabs him like 8 times. Mm-hmm. It's like, I get it, like, it's a movie, but it's that they continued to fight like nothing was happening. I'm like,
right.
He'd be taking some damage.
It happened again, like in the final battle with Thomas and the bad guy, where like he literally stabs him like 5 times in the side, and like.
Well, at least he finally died at the end, though.
Right. Well,
like, all right, so that made sense.
Well, sort of dies, not really.
Oh yeah, he becomes the new witch lady. That was the point where I'm like, now I know I hated this movie.
Yeah, oh man. You know what's weird is like there are parts of this movie I think that was a good scene, or like any scene where anything happens is like yeah, like the fight scenes
they were fine.
I thought the one my favorite scene,
for the exception of the last one.
Yeah, my favorite scene was the one with the fucking where he's on the stretching rack with the grinder at the end. I'm like, this is a great scene.
See, and that was cool because it's like I could see the real life cult being creepy like this.
Right, I'm like, why wasn't the movie more like this?
Also, the like, she's in the background, like the witch thing. Mm-hmm. That was so dumb. I'm like, if she can get up and move, why the fuck doesn't she just get her own food then?
Yeah, that was.
Also, why are there 3 leader guys? That was so stupid.
And like, if you really are the main leader of the fucking cult, then like, why are you playing bitch to Michael Sheen? Like, if you're really as evil as you, like, it felt like a weird twist.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I'm actually the bad guy. I'm like, what? Like, where have you been?
I just got so confused at who was in charge that didn't really even faze me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did not have a good time watching this, besides like the 10, 20 minutes of it that was any good at all.
I thought the beginning and the end, like the very beginning and the end, were fine.
Yeah.
But beyond that, the middle's super fucking slow. Movie looks good. The acting's fine.
The acting's serviceable. There's nothing really wrong with it.
The effects are good, like mostly. It's just not. It's too fucking long. Too fucking long.
It's really too long, and I think they could have just rewritten it to not include the witch at all, and just focus on the cult thing and go more with that.
Mm-hmm. I was really disappointed.
As was I. So now we move on to scores. What do you give it?
I'd probably give a 5.5 out of 10. Not very glowing.
That's pretty generous. I would give this.
Because I like Gareth.
Yeah, that's the thing is that was what was so disappointing about this. I'm going to have to give this because I legitimately would not watch this again, even if it was on cable. But just because the scenes that were so competently shot, or that worked well, were so competently shot, and it just looked good.
Right.
I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
Which I think is honestly a little generous.
Yeah, it might drop for you, I feel.
You know what? Fuck it. No generousness. 1.5, because it sucked. It was bad. It was really bad.
Disappointment, man.
You know what? Yeah, fuck it, because I gave Black Hat a 1.5 because it had one really awesome shootout scene.
Right. And
this had 4 or 5 pretty good scenes. That equals one awesome scene.
And
it's basic math.
And Heat, Black Hat is not, such as Raid, Apostle is not.
Exactly. So there you have it. 5.5 out of 5 and a 1.5 out of 5. It sucked. Don't watch it. You know, just don't watch Netflix originals because they clearly don't give a shit about delivering a product that's good start to finish that isn't stuffed with filler. Mm-hmm. And they just, I don't know what the fuck their deal is with this first draft thing. Just basically only watch the Indonesian action movies.
Because at least you'll be entertained, like, where it counts.
And if you're normie, watch the boring series, because I know we're alone on that. So there you have it. pasta was no bueno.